Hey everybody, welcome back to Madison County Live, and it is the infamous Bob Stamper, CEO and President of Isafecomplete.com.
That's right. Infamous. Thanks for having me, Randy. I appreciate that.
Time for our tech update, Bob. And we're talking term limits.
Term limits, that's right. So I know that's a hot topic these days, but we're going to push right through that because what we're really talking about is the term limits on your computer.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of people like to keep those old computers around 7, 8, 10 years or so,
Right.
and it's just not worth it. The longer they sit around, the more money it costs you.
Yeah, okay.
And so, there might be some, similarities there
Sure.
between some of the other term limits we're talking about.
That's right.
But
another discussion, another show.
That's exactly right. So it's important that you're replacing those computers and you're upgrading them on a regular basis. Now, what we really recommend is that every 4 years at least. Now, some bigger companies will push 2 years.
Sure.
But 4 years is the max because there was a TechOwl study done a few years ago that found that a computer that's over 4 years old will cost a company over $27,000 or $2,700.
I was going to say that's a lot.
$2,700.
Wow.
Well, now listen, if you have 100 computers,
I guess it could.
Yeah, exactly right.
Or so $270,000 depends on how big your company is.
That's exactly right. So you want to make sure you're getting rid of those because a lot of people don't think about the actual downtime. First of all, that computer is much more likely to need repair.
Sure.
So that means the employee potentially is just standing around doing nothing.
Waiting for it to load, waiting for it to turn on,
So those are the little things that you don't see is, well, you got to add up all those 10, 20 seconds that it takes for Excel to open or save that spreadsheet, or maybe they're waiting on an image to process or whatever it is.
Sure.
And so you add up all that downtime and then also the downtime for repairs through the course of a year. And you could buy a really nice computer for $2,700.
Oh, sure.
And get that employee productive.
Right.
It also takes up 112 hours of productivity from that employee on average. After it's 4 years old.
Right.
So it's great to refresh those computers regularly.
And that reminds me of a Big Bang Theory episode where Sheldon gets his computer stolen. They break into the apartment and they take his old computer.
Yeah.
And he gets a new computer and he turns it on and he goes, "Oh, it's on."
Exactly right. Yeah. So a lot of times you don't realize.
Sure.
You get used to it over time because it gradually gets slower.
I go up, get a cup of coffee.
Yep, that's exactly right. So, and not only that, it can increase the potential security risk.
Sure,
as well,
absolutely.
Because a lot of times even hardware now, like the TPM chip may not be up to date. Things that help protect you in the background, and then of course the software and programs that are compatible
that are running on there. Right.
It can also increase employee frustration.
Yes,
which can lead to higher turnover rates.
Sure.
And that is one of the most expensive things that companies face.
Right.
And the last thing is just, it can make your company look dated.
Well,
because,
and again,
if you have people coming in your office and
like, what are you running?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. You go into a business and they still got the big CRT monitor, it's like
dot matrix printer.
The big double stick keyboard. Yeah, exactly right.
Sure,
so it doesn't create a good image. So you want to keep those things refreshed, keep all your technology up to date, and it'll really help improve productivity and ultimately make you more profitable. So.
Well, and also I guess a lot of companies, is that the reason they also lease computers from services that they return their leases every?
There's a good argument to be made, because you really, you just have it on a cycle.
It's a budgeted
expense,
so you get the new stuff.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and you don't ever get that unexpected. Oh, we got to buy 5 new computers.
Sure, absolutely.
That kind of thing.
And Windows 10 is the next topic.
Yep.
Will be EOL on October the 14th. What exactly does this mean?
That means end of life.
Okay.
And what that means is that Microsoft is no longer going to be providing updates and security patches for that software. Yeah. So at that point, hackers are going to find new vulnerabilities just like they do every week and every month. That's why you get those updates regularly.
Right.
Security patches. And so Microsoft's going to stop working on that, which means your computer is going to be much more vulnerable within a few weeks.
Sure, of that.
The longer you keep that after October the 14th, it's going to happen.
Okay. Now, does that apply if you're doing the security on that computer?
It does. Because now we're going to block anything that looks malicious.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
And if it has malicious behavior, it's going to block. But there's always the possibility
of those
that
updates,
something gets through.
Yeah. I got you. Okay.
And so those malware most of the time depends on vulnerabilities within the software
the
or
operating system itself.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so so it's important to keep. That's why it's important patch management is a big part of what we do.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
Protect
Protect those computers, right?
Absolutely.
Now, what do you recommend?
Yeah,
specification wise, if you're looking for a new computer.
Yeah, we know a lot of I think it's how many businesses do we have here? So a bunch of businesses are still using Windows 10.
Windows 10, right?
And so a lot of people are going to be shopping this year for new computers.
Right.
And so we want to make sure that when you're shopping for a new computer, that you get some minimum specifications.
Right.
We get this question all the time. Hey, what do you recommend? What's the minimum that we should be looking for our business? And so we recommend an i7 or an i9 CPU.
Okay.
There are a couple of different, different manufacturers have a couple of different options, but those are the two mainstream ones that we really recommend. Okay. And then we want at least 16 gig of memory.
And tell us about memory. What does that involve? What does that help?
Yeah, random access memory is when it's kind of the interface between the hard drive and the CPU.
Okay.
And so when a project, say you start a project, you open it up, that Excel will get loaded into the memory.
Okay, gotcha.
And then it'll go back and forth with the CPU, and then changes will be saved to the hard drive.
Right.
So it's kind of like a temporary working space.
Right, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
So that's what the memory is for. So you want at least 16 gig memory, DDR4 or higher, and then at least 512 gigabyte of SSD hard drive.
Okay. Now, what is SSD?
That's solid state on a drive, and so essentially it's a chip instead of a mechanical
drive
that spins.
A rotating spinner.
Exactly.
Right. Okay,
you got it.
Gotcha.
So that's much faster.
Right.
And it looks like they're lasting much longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So that's what I always heard. So I wanted to confirm that.
Yes. So, So you want to have that.
No
it's
moving parts.
Exactly. Yeah. So much more efficient. It works very similar to the memory does now. So those tend to work in hand in hand. They still have the same roles.
Okay.
But it's almost as fast as the memory. So
Time spent on shopping.
Well, the last one. Let me hit.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the last? Oh, yeah. Windows 11 Professional.
Windows 11.
I'm sorry, I forgot
now,
about that.
Now, if you are a home user, the home version is fine.
Okay, the home version.
But we always tell our business to get the professional, because if you have any compliance requirements, which you do,
sure,
if you're a business.
If you've watched any of our tech updates.
If you take credit cards, if you have cyber insurance, any of that stuff, So you want to get the Pro version because it allows you to, it comes with BitLocker, so you can encrypt your hard drive. So you want to make sure your critical data is encrypted.
Okay, got it.
And then also it allows for security patches and centralized logins and all that kind of stuff. So, so that's the big reason to get Windows Pro. Sorry about that.
I skipped over that. I just assumed.
Yeah, it's all good. So on time spent shopping.
For a new system or a new computer.
Yeah, so what we're telling people is don't spend hours and hours trying to save $150.
Right.
We see this all the time. And so organizations a lot of times will, and a lot of times it's the C-suite people. Yeah. And so, these are $60 to $90 an hour people, and they're spending 4 hours trying to save $100, and it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
You don't want them walking your dog.
So you got to take advantage and make sure you're using everybody's time efficiently. And also when you pay less, typically you're getting less too. Like sometimes you get deals, and I get it. You shop for sales.
But you've spent that time.
Exactly.
You can't get back to save $150, and you've just thrown $800 out the window.
Exactly. There's no way you can. You're not going to get that much difference in price. Right.
Okay.
So if you have just an office worker, staff, maybe the office admin or something that could do that, I think that's great. If you want to save that time and money. If you have one of the services we provide is lifecycle management, and we just have set prices for builds from Dell.
Sure. I get exactly.
And you might go to Dell and shop and save $100 on it, but
make one call. Call Bob and his team. They can take care of that for you.
Exactly. Right. So that's what we do.
Okay.
So the big thing though is just make sure you're using the time wisely, because ultimately too, if you spend less, you're going to get less, and you want to make sure that you're using everybody's.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't want to use a high dollar employee.
It's a time thing.
Yeah, to try to save a little bit.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you don't want those $90, $100 an hour people walking your dog. I mean, you may just love your dog.
Oh yeah, right.
I'm sure they'll take good care of your dog, but they can be put to better use.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All
right.
And they can easily just contact you. Isafecomplete.com, give you all a phone call and say, hey, we need to upgrade our computers. What do you recommend? What you got?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And we don't do like general public sales
Right,
and stuff,
it's
but for
customers
our customers,
only,
but we'd
right.
love to sign you up. Too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You take care of your
Absolutely.
technology.
You sure can. Now, I saw this 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah,
Stephen Covey.
one of the most, esteemed business leadership books ever written probably is Stephen Covey's
That's right.
7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Right.
And habit number 7, do you know what it is?
Yep. Sharpening the saw.
Exactly.
I actually did a video on this.
Awesome.
Yes,
Good.
absolutely.
Yeah, very good.
A while back. Yeah.
So, I think it's this is what we're doing when we're replacing those computers. If you use that computer past 4 years, you're just using a dull old axe or something trying to cut down a huge cedar tree.
That's right.
And so you want to make sure that you're getting the saw sharpened.
Yes.
So that your employees can be as productive as possible.
That's right.
That way you're getting the most out of payroll. Because here's the thing, payroll, the cost of hardware is nothing compared to the cost of payroll. If you're in business, you know this.
Oh, sure.
And so, so don't just let that axe or that saw sit around and get rusty and dull. Replace them regularly, and you'll get a lot more done, and you'll see better bottom line.
Well, I know my Uncle Howard building houses when I worked for him in college. When that saw started getting dull and you started burning wood, replace that saw.
Yep, there you go. That's a good
replace that saw blade
Yep.
because you're wasting time at that point of getting through that wood. Like you said, sharpen the saw, you'll get more done.
Yeah,
makes it a lot easier.
Awesome.
All right, landing pages and recycling IT. What's that about?
So I want to let everybody know that we have on our website we have a page dedicated to this concept. It's called Life Cycle Management, which is managing the life cycle of your computer hardware.
Sure.
The other part of that life cycle management is when it is time to retire an old computer, you're required to destroy, if you have any like customer data, PHI, any sensitive data.
Right.
You want to destroy that data appropriately.
Okay.
If you're under certain compliance requirements, they can be pretty stringent on
those. Right.
So, which leads me into what we do once a year. We're just less than 90 days away now.
Already?
From Hunger Awareness Day.
Wow.
June the 6th.
Seems like you just talked about that.
I know, right?
Wow.
So June the 6th, we run a program called Recycle IT.
Okay.
And so if you have old computer hardware laying around or you're planning on upgrading within the next few months, reach out to us because we'll take that old hardware and we'll take it apart. We'll take out the hard drives. We actually have the recycler run the hard drives through a metal shredder.
Okay, good.
That meets all the requirements for data destruction, for HIPAA, NIST, all those different compliance frameworks.
Okay.
And then we take 100% of the recycling money and give it back to God's Outreach here in Madison County.
Which is a fundraiser for them.
Yep.
To help support their mission.
Yep. And so every dollar that we raise, they can buy $14 worth of food.
Which is huge.
It's huge.
Yeah, and I can't do that.
We can't do that, no. And so we're super excited. Last year we crossed the $100,000 worth of food mark.
Very nice.
And we're hoping to get over $200,000 this year.
It's a lot of beanie weenies.
It is, yes.
Okay. All right. If you like beanie weenies. Yeah, that's fantastic. I think that's a great, I can't believe it's this close already.
I know.
That's crazy.
It really is. So it sneaks
really
up on you. So that's why I want to talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. And this is available on your website. It's on the front page. It's on the landing page, right?
We actually, it's under a sub-menu.
Under a sub-menu,
but we're going to put up a QR code that'll take them to the...
For that,
to the life cycle management.
Okay, good.
And then we're going to put a link on the life cycle management that goes right to the recycle IT.
Because fantastic.
How you destroy and get rid of the old hardware is just, that's a big part of the whole life cycle management process.
And of course, you are still doing your cybersecurity assessment free of charge.
Free of charge, yes.
$2,500 value.
Yes.
All you got to do is call Bob.
That's right.
That's it. It's easy.
Yep.
It's very easy.
Yep. We'll make sure that if you have any vulnerabilities or anything that's not protected like it should be, we'll give you a full report, readout on it, and then hopefully we can help you resolve those issues. But if you have internal IT or whatever, that's totally fine too.
So. That's fine too. It's no obligation. It's free. And I'll go ahead and put that QR code. I'll just go ahead and put it down there.
Awesome. Good.
Okay. All right.
Very good.
Fantastic. Bob, thanks for coming in for this tech update. Windows 10 out the door. Windows 11 coming. So get ready. Call Bob and his team at Isafecomplete.com.
That's right. Awesome. Thanks, Randy.
Folks, thanks for watching. Bob, thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
All right. See you later.